Show me.
Hello everybody, Martial Arts Film Freak here, and it is finally time. The long-awaited revival of Kung Fu has premiered today. I say today, it's actually after midnight, so it was technically yesterday. Earlier tonight, if you're that kind of person. And I just wanted to share some thoughts. On it. Sort of give some first impressions, and because I don't know about everybody else, I've been kind of... skeptical is not the right word. Worried is probably the way to go with that. And I'm not worried for probably reasons that a lot of people are. I didn't really actually see anything online of people saying like, oh, it's a girl, everything's got to be a girl, bring things back and put a girl in it. I don't care about that. The original show, they put a white dude in the lead role and made him act like he was Chinese, so anything is better than that. I was also worried because it's on the CW, and as much as I have enjoyed a lot of the CW superhero shows in the past, at this point I'm only really watching Legends of Tomorrow, because the rest I just couldn't keep up with. I had to fall off. Legends of Tomorrow is the only one that actually stands out as being unique. Although I did enjoy Black Lightning, I just fell off because I missed it. It's probably on a streaming service that I can watch it on, and I will catch up. But back to what I was talking about. CW shows have tropes, and a lot of them I've gotten tired of over the past few years, as a lot of the shows have the exact same tropes, the exact same themes, and it just gets really repetitive and annoying. And the worst I came across was Batwoman. The first episode of Batwoman I watched, and it had all the CW tropes, and at that point I just had enough, and I said, I get it. I understand where this show is going, and I don't need to watch anymore. And I was worried that would be the case with Kung Fu. Now, I am not really going to speak on the subject of, like, the show's accuracy to Chinese culture. There's people who definitely do that on YouTube and do it really, really well. I recommend this channel over here. She's great. And I'm not really going to speak to, the inclusivity of the show. It has your Asian characters, it's women. There's people who are members of those communities who can do a lot better job speaking to that than I can when it comes to this show, and they're probably also a lot smarter, although I do have a degree in sociology. But those things are important. But I just want to speak about I'm the Martial Arts Film Freak. This is the Martial Arts channel. I just want to speak to, is this show worth it in terms of a martial arts show, and just, as a show in general, as the first episode, is it good enough to, keep going, to keep watching based on just the first episode? And kinda. Now, get this CW stuff out of the way. There's a little bit of it here. There's a little bit. There could be more, and that's good. There's not a lot of it, and that's good to see. There's a little bit of soap opera stuff that it appears, it shows itself, and then it goes away. And there's a few elements of it, but not a lot. It's not a lot, not really heavy-handed, and that's fine. We don't need a lot of it, at least not right now. Don't throw it all at us in the first episode. Build it up. Let us care about the characters first. It's not that bad when you let us learn about the characters, let us grow with them, let us get to know them, and then start to bring in a lot more of the drama. If you just hit us with the drama when we're here for Kung Fu, we're going to be out. It's one thing that kind of took me out of the first episode of Batwoman. The other thing, and this is much stupider, is the narration. Now, this show did do that. Every CW show starts with, my name is Barry Allen, my name is Oliver Queen, my name is whatever Supergirl's name is. All of those shows, probably even Riverdale, and what other shows are there? I don't know. I don't watch them. All have that same sort of narration at the beginning. They explain a little bit of the backstory for the character, and this show did that as well. And it was tiring, but it didn't last long. And I think they learned that lesson with something from like Batwoman, because Batwoman started off with that heavily throughout the entire episode, and this one really only did it for about 3 minutes, and then it never happened again. Thank God. Now, the show has what I refer to as the Walking Dead structure, Walking Dead structure. And I don't know why I call it that, because I'm sure a lot of other shows who have different, gimmicks sort of go by this same structure. I'm pretty sure Martial Law did, the Sammo Hung show from the 90s. And what that is with something like The Walking Dead, it's a zombie show, but you're not going to get a full episode of zombies all the time. Usually you may with like the season, like a season premiere or a season finale, a big episode, you're going to get like a full zombie episode. Most of the time, you're going to get 1 or 2 zombie scenes. The rest of it's going to be drama and characters. And that is the same here. You get about 3 scenes or so of action, and then the rest is story. And we need that. It's the first episode. We got to know who the characters are. We got to get to know them. We got to figure out what the plot is. What's the relationship between all the characters. We got to figure out the driving force for everything. And the show does a really good job of that. And within those 3 fight scenes, sadly, only about 1.5 of them are really that spectacular. Spectacular is too good of a word for that. 1.5 of the fight scenes are mostly fine. The choreography is pretty good. There isn't anything within the first episode that is as solid as maybe like the first episode of Into the Badlands, or the first episode of Warrior, or maybe even the first episode of like Cobra Kai. Nothing that really super stood out to me. There are some fun moments. At one point, like a Tai Chi guy shows up, although he does like almost immediately just start doing Wing Chun, but I didn't care because he looked cool doing it. I do hope we see more of him later, but the show does definitely go for a more fantastical style. The main character, played by, I believe her name is Olivia Liang, yes, she is actually very good. I enjoy her quite a bit. I believe that she doesn't have any prior training up to this show. If she did, it wasn't, substantial. It was probably for other things. I think maybe she was in Warrior. I could be wrong. I'll put it if I'm right here. But yeah, she was good, and her character being this Shaolin Monk, they sort of make the Shaolin Monk thing a bit more of a mystical thing, so she is sort of doing just that little bit of wire work, and it gives it more of a fantastical style, so it doesn't go for something as grounded and hardcore as Warrior, and not something yet as like mystical yet. It'll probably get there as like Into the Badlands. But there is a handful of wire work, and if that is not your thing, then you are just going to have to get used to it. So far, I'm pretty sure it's only going to get much more noticeable within the episodes as she sort of develops her abilities. I did enjoy at one point, and it's sort of a main driving point of the show, is there's a sword, and it's a green sword, and it's not quite the Jade Destiny, the Sword of Destiny, essentially, from Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. It's not quite that, but, you see a sword, it's green. That's kind of where your head goes when you're a Kung Fu fan. Now, the camera work is on the annoying side of iffy, because it's just, it's edited choppy a bit, and I don't see why, when if you properly trained your actors, which it seems they did with Olivia Liang and a couple of other people, if they're trained properly, film them properly, and then you don't have to cut it up as much. That seems to be a bit of a TV thing, and not all TV. It seems to be a CW thing, possibly. This could be a CW trope, because some of the fights in something like Arrow do get pretty bad, do get pretty messy in terms of the editing. Into the Badlands, Warrior, Cobra Kai, they don't really have this problem. Into the Badlands, a little bit, but not a lot. And so, I wish it wasn't that. It looks like they're doing something good enough that you don't need to fuck it up in the editing room. But overall, I did have fun with this first episode. I did enjoy sort of like there is an overarching, it's up to you how you pronounce it. I don't give a there is an overarching plot within the background of the show, sort of the driving force of evil, that will persist throughout the entire series. And it is just a little bit of Jackie Chan Adventures. There's, they got to collect some stuff that will all unlock an ancient power. And I like that. The more you make me think of Jackie Chan Adventures, the happier I am. That's so stupid. And then there was a much more straightforward, right in front of your face plot that the first episode may be resolved, and I hope not, because that's also an interesting plot, and I'd like to see that stick around. So yeah, tell me what you thought of the first episode of Kung Fu in the comment section down below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Head over to Facebook, where there is the Martial Arts Fun Freak Facebook page, Instagram, Martial Arts Fun Freak over there, Tristan_Glover on the Twitters. Thank you so much for watching, and have a good day.